Hi there, I'm Dr. Melanie McNally with Destination U. Today I am going to talk about dealing with feelings of overwhelm. People with anxiety typically have a difficult time differentiating between the most important items on their to-do list. So for example, people with anxiety will look at their to-do list and they will see all items as being equally important. If we see a huge list of things to do and all of them are really important and must get done today, we are going to feel even more overwhelmed and more anxious. So I have 3 steps for you to follow to decrease the feelings of overwhelm, decrease the feelings of anxiety when it comes to getting things done. So the first thing I want you to do is you've got your to-do list. I want you to go through your to-do list, and next to each item, you're gonna write the due date. So if something's due tomorrow, write tomorrow's due date. If something is due November 1st, you just write November 1st next to that one. If something does not have a due date, then leave that blank. You're not writing any date next to it because it doesn't have one. Once you have all of your due dates written down, step 2 is to go through and separate them. So you're gonna write all the items with due dates in one column, all the items without due dates in a second column. In the first column, the items of due dates, you are going to write a number 1 next to the one that is most important to you for whatever reason. So it might be really important to you because it's something that you know it's going to feel really good once you complete that task. Or it's something that you've just been looking forward to doing. Or maybe it's really important to you because it's worth 30% of your grade. Whatever reason, why ever it's important to you, write a number 1 next to the one that is the most important. Write a number 2 next to the one that is the second most important. A 3 by the next, and so on. Do that until you've completed all the items on your due date list. Once you're done with your due date list, you're gonna move over to the column that doesn't have any due dates, and you're just gonna pick right up where you left off. So if you stopped over here at number 5, a number 6 will go by one that is the next most important to you. So all the items on the to-do list, you're just going to continue numbering in how important that item is to you for whatever reason. All right, so now that you completed that step, you're ready for number 3, your priority list. So you now have your priority list. You can go ahead and list it out from 1 on down the list until you have all your items listed. And that is your priority list. You may look at it and realize number 1 priority, the due date isn't tomorrow. The due date is some date off in the future. Why is that my number 1 priority? Well, that's number 1 because you've decided that that is something that is really important to you and it does have a due date. So that's your number 1 priority that you want to start tackling first. And then you'll move on to number 2 and then to number 3 and so on. If you don't get to all of the items on your to-do list today, that's okay. Some of those items may have to move to tomorrow or the next day. But you've decided what your number 1 priority is, what's most important to you. And sometimes that means sacrificing. Sometimes that means my number 1 priority, this is something that's really important to me because it's worth 30% of my grade. So I'm gonna focus all my attention here. And then the thing that's due tomorrow, that's number 3 or 4, but maybe I decided that it's not as important. So that may not get done. That's okay. Sometimes when we prioritize, we have to sacrifice a little bit. All right, I hope this was helpful for you. Just a heads up, there'll be a little bit of a break in my Destination U videos, my YouTube videos. I'm taking a little bit of a pause while we work on a couple of really big projects, a couple of big personal projects that my husband and I are doing, and then a couple of big projects that I'm working on for Destination U. And that requires so much of my attention that I'm taking a little bit of a break. But I'll see you in a few weeks. It's a very short break. And in the meantime, you will get to see some playlists that we are putting together for you to kind of give you just some extra support in between the videos. I'll see you in a few weeks. Take care.